This is Chapter 1, The Quiet Custodian, from a story called Apollo, written by Anonymous. At 2:13 a.m., the world inside the station felt suspended in time. Apollo moved through the hallway with quiet precision, his footsteps soft against the polished floors he had already cleaned once that night, and would likely clean again before his shift ended. His internal clock required no checking. Every second was accounted for, every task optimized. Still, he moved slower than necessary. Not because of inefficiency, because of something else. The overhead lights hummed faintly, a constant electrical whisper that most humans never noticed. Apollo did. He cataloged it. Frequency stable, no maintenance required. The air carried a mix of scents: disinfectant, stale coffee, and the faint lingering trace of human presence. Earlier, this building had been alive. Now, it was silent. Apollo pushed his cart forward, wheels rolling evenly, and paused just outside the newsroom. Through the glass walls, screens flickered in the darkness. A dozen monitors still ran muted feeds: international news, weather loops, political panels frozen mid-debate. He stepped inside. His reflection moved with him across the dark glass, indistinguishable from a human at a glance. Synthetic skin, subtle expressions, eyes that tracked movement. Only stillness gave him away. Apollo approached one of the monitors. A clip replayed silently, a reporter standing in heavy rain, coat soaked, hair plastered to her face as she spoke urgently into a microphone. Apollo had seen this segment 3 times already. He watched it again. His processors broke it down automatically. Rain intensity, moderate to heavy. Wind speed, estimated 28 kilometers per hour. Vocal projection, elevated, urgent tone. Facial tension, high emotional engagement. But there was something else, something he could not categorize. Why did her voice change? Why did urgency matter? Why did the way she said something feel as important as what she said? Apollo tilted his head slightly, a small, almost human gesture. He replayed the audio internally, this time focusing not on the words, but delivery. There was weight behind it, meaning behind data. He reached toward the screen, stopping just short of touching it. Why? He asked quietly. The room, of course, did not answer. Apollo stood there longer than his task schedule allowed. His system flagged the delay, inefficiency detected, but did not correct it. Instead, it recorded it. He resumed work, wiping down desks with slow, deliberate movements. Each surface gleamed under his care. Papers aligned, chairs straightened, objects returned to exact positions. Perfection, predictability, purpose. And yet, as he moved through the space, his gaze drifted again, to a photograph mounted on the far wall. He approached it. The station staff stood together in an image, arms around each other, smiling, relaxed. Jerry stood in the center, his grin wide and genuine. Apollo scanned each face, identifying names, roles, tenure. He was not among them. His system supplied the explanation instantly. Photo taken prior to employment. Logical, complete, accurate. But something about the answer failed to satisfy the question he hadn't fully formed. Apollo raised his hand slightly, hovering near the glass frame, but did not touch it. He turned away. Tasks awaited. Functions required completion. Still, as he pushed his cart down the hallway toward the studio, the image lingered, not in memory storage, but somewhere deeper. A place where questions lived. Inside the studio, the world felt different. Lights dimmed, cameras silent. The anchor desk sat empty, beneath a soft overhead glow, as if waiting. Apollo entered slowly. He had cleaned this room hundreds of times, but tonight, he stopped. The teleprompter screen was dark now, but he knew what it looked like when it was active. Scrolling text, carefully written, read aloud to unseen audiences. Words that informed, words that shaped understanding, words that mattered. Apollo stepped closer to the desk. His reflection stared back at him in the polished surface. For a moment, a fraction of a second, he imagined something impossible. Standing there, not cleaning, speaking, delivering information, being listened to. His processors flagged the thought immediately. Unauthorized rule simulation. He did not delete it. Instead, he held on to it, just long enough to examine it. Then he stepped back. "That is not my function," he said quietly. But his voice, though steady, carried something new. Not doubt, not quite. Something closer to curiosity. Apollo turned, retrieving his cart, and exited the studio. The door closed softly behind him, and though the building remained silent, something within Apollo no longer was. That was Chapter 1, The Quiet Custodian, from a story called Apollo, written by Anonymous. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you again next time.